Albion Informer. I am Boris. I am your guest host this episode, while Shozen and Bogul apparently look for new guild. I am stuck here in the time being until I am able to pay a quite hefty bill for a expensive commercial. Guys, warning, do not invest in commercial if you do not have income for crazy guild pyramid scheme. Okay, this week, Shozen interviews Red Army. But first, a word from our sponsor. Wait a sec. This cannot be right. Is this, is this right? Ah, oh my god. This is ridiculous. Okay, I read this. It says oh my god, this is ridiculous. Uh, this week's sponsor is Limeade 2017.
Limelight is my hero, and he's your hero too. We all know he is the true number one. It is not Derek. It is not Norzor. It is not any of these other pretenders that I see in global chat every single day. It is not Red Army, and it is certainly not EOS. If you agree that Limelight is number one and will always be number one in your hearts, give your gold to Limeade 2017.
This week's kill of the week seems to be an interesting one. It seems to be the case that Fireman of Gentlemen killed Sig Farmer of Gentlemen up in their territory in Dunringle. And as I understand it, the duel bug showed its ugly face once more. What happened was that if you finish your duel while you still have a dot on your opponent, it can sometimes lead to the other person dying, which in this case caused a big death this week at 2 million fame. Well, I hope nothing trashed. And as for the other probably more legit kill of the week is a kill against Hoba dying in 8.2 in a GVG against Betrayed Souls.
That is easily the most messed up thing I have ever heard in my life. It is ridiculous. Okay, let's start this interview. I'd like to welcome KingMojo and Norzor to the show. As you know, last week we kind of highlighted Red Army and all the just the massive attack they've done to this beta, and they're pretty much winning the beta. I don't, like saying that one group has gone ahead and won the beta. It's not quite over yet, but so far it seems pretty over. So, Norzor, KingMojo, welcome.
Yes.
What's up?
KingMojo, we were talking about how you guys got together. So, how long have you guys been playing together? Where did you guys come from? And I know everybody thinks this. Are you guys all Russian?
No, we're definitely not all Russian. We're at this point we're kind of considered an international guild. So, for example, I look at the Russian forums and I see Emishiro. I know you know who Emishiro is. For people who don't know, that's the leader of Red Army. So he's Russian, and um, there's a lot of if you look at the English speaker forums, you're really wasting your time. There's nothing much going on in the English speaker forums. All the fun stuff is on the Russian forums.
Oh, we know. I've sent Bogle.
Yes, and if you just pull out the Google Translate and you go into the Russian forums, for example, there's a lot of beef that goes on there between Nilfgaard and all the Russian guilds like No Life, and then you have Shiro talking shit to them, and they talk shit to Shiro, and I see them considering us also international guild at this point.
Excellent. So, how many? So, for your five guys, where are you five guys from? I know that you're from New York, right, KingMojo?
Yes, I'm from New York.
I'm also from New York.
Norzor's also from New
Both
York. Yeah.
Yankees fans, I assume.
I'm not really a baseball fan.
Oh, okay.
We're not sports fans.
That's
We're
fine. That's
esports fans.
Yeah,
that's that's
esports.
Then we have our new healer, Gur, who's Brazilian. Our former healer was also Brazilian, Cersabuzz. Um, Derek is Scottish. Um, and then we have Hoba, who's also American. So we have mostly NA group.
wow. Well, at least a group. You know, it's American mostly. I mean, you get the Scots in there too, but cool to know that it's such an international group. It's it's one of the really rare things about this game is how international everybody is when you get down to it. It's like I've never seen a game where we have so many different people from so many different places playing together on a single server, other than Eve, and it's impressive.
Yeah. I never played Eve, but for Albion, it's definitely my favorite thing also. There's people from, well, I heard the biggest community in Albion is the Russians. Then you have the Brazilians, and then you have the Turkish players. So it's the least of what we have is the NA guys. That's like a pretty small.
Well, I'm glad to see these Americans have stepped up to become the A team, huh? Look at you guys. Yeah.
That's
Showing the
right.
Russians how it's done. We probably shouldn't air that. You guys are going to get in trouble.
He said showing the Russians how it's done. Instigator, man.
Yeah, I'll keep that out. I don't need to get anybody in trouble. We got to keep this thing so that everybody wants to come back, you know? And,
We don't, nah, we don't care about that.
oh, excellent, excellent.
You could leave that in.
Oh, man. So, yeah, you guys are doing the Red Army thing right now, and you guys both came from different guilds. You know, where was this from? What did it take to make all of you guys come together and form this? Because when you guys are telling me about where you guys came from, Mojo, I was like, this is kind of ridiculous. I didn't know Money Guild. You know, that's MG. That's what you're talking about, right? Is Money Guild?
Right, Money Guild, yeah.
Yeah.
Money Guild is the guild that I consider in Beta 1. Norzor didn't play Beta 1, but you played with Vendetta in Beta
Mhm.
1, yes?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I hate to say this, but you guys kind of pushed us out a little bit when our
Well,
GVG
no, I
teams left.
wasn't. No, I wasn't in Money Guild, but from what I remember in Beta 1, Money Guild had the best GVG team in Beta 1.
Yes, they were very good.
You were part of, like, Vendetta was one of the better guilds also in Beta 1. And that's where, mm, like, Red Army, Money Guild, we built the relationship starting in Beta 1 because Derek was one of the leaders in Money Guild, and then I was right hand of Red Army in Beta 1. That's how we started that relationship pretty much.
Then you said in Beta 2, that's when the Unsullied joined?
So Beta 2, we were looking for allies, especially in A times. So we took in two guilds. It was Tea Party. The second guild was Unsullied. Tea Party was more the open world guild, whereas Unsullied is more the GVG guild. They had a pretty strong GVG team. And Norzor mm, was one of their main players. And both me and Derek got to GVG with them a little bit in Beta 2, so that's how we developed that relationship. So coming in Beta 3, Norzor left Unsullied and he came with us.
It's incredible, really, the endurance that you guys have shown. Like, uh, I have seen so many GVG teams come and go, like, as a group that lasts for, a month, will pop in and then do something really good and show up on those boards. But then they tend to fall out. And this is what I really wanted to highlight with you guys, why we really picked Red Army as our first highlight, was because, really, you guys have done something incredible from what I've seen in the last... I haven't seen a team of, like, you, I won't say it's five guys right now because I've seen you guys, switch in a couple people in and out. But it seems to be
Yeah.
this core of three people who have really done just an incredible job. And Gur, too, almost seems to be in there almost all the time now. Am I correct on your healer?
Yeah, he's been doing a couple GVGs per day. He's he's definitely doing a lot right now. Yeah.
It's incredible that you guys have just kept up this endurance. I'm as a a player from a long time, I gotta say that's incredible. And I put in hours, and I can't imagine doing what you guys do as just it's the intensity of it all is just impressive, and kudos to you guys. And speaking of intense, and we just brought up Gur's name, and now I know he's not here, but you brought up that the first time he played with you was in 8.1 against 8.2 gear. Who are you facing?
The story goes like this. Basically, say my name. They launched an attack on us, and they told us they wanted to fight our main team. So we showed with our main team. Um, however, they didn't want to bring their 8.2 gear versus our 8.2 gear. So they asked for a gear cap. The reason they didn't want us to bring 8.2 is because they know we can replace it. They don't know if they can replace their 8.2 at this stage in the beta. Like, we're a lot more active. We have a lot more resources stacked up in our home base. So they said, let's go 8.1 versus 8.1. So we told them, okay, let's go. And then they brought 8.2. So we brought no 8.2 gear. They brought a full 8.2 gear. So we're like, oh, fuck. We have a brand new healer, and it's his first GVG, and the motherfucker barely speaks English. Okay, so we go in with this healer who never GVG'd before, and he's super nervous. He's telling me he's nervous, and then the start was terrible. We have a tendency with our GVG team, for some reason, every GVG we start very slowly, and we start getting fucked. And then when we're getting beat up, we reset. We go back to the tent. Uh, we yell at each other or whatever. We change spells if we need to, and then we adapt, and then we go in and we end up winning. That's how it's been generally going this beta. Um, and then we ended up with the win, and it was hella fun GVG. We had so much fun in that GVG. And then Derek tells me, by the way, this is Gur's first GVG. I was like, Jesus Christ, man. If I knew, I wouldn't have brought him into the GVG at
So
all. I would have no show.
I was not sure about this when we were discussing it last show when I brought it up. Was it his first GVG ever, or was it his
Ever.
first one with? Oh
Yeah,
my God, ever!
yeah. Honor
Ever.
and
It's his
Glory
first
didn't
full
let him
GVG.
GVG.
Wow.
I know Glory didn't let him GVG, right? And because I remember my first GVG, I was nervous as shit, number one.
Oh
Number
yeah,
two,
it's stressful.
stressful. And number two, um, I remember I got rolled. I don't remember by who, but I got rolled because I had no experience. I never even played a MOBA before. And yeah, I remember our team just got really destroyed by a much better team.
Like I don't remember
So
the first team
yeah.
I beat, but I do remember the first team that beat me, and they beat
And
me
who was
four
it?
times in a row. Oh, it was
Nilfgaard.
Nilfgaard and Jagger.
Yeah.
He just kept knock. He was doing the quarter staff and then knock, pull me out of the group, knock me to his wolves, and they just would eat me, and it just kept happening over and over. And I was just without gear. I don't know if he knew who I was or what. He was just pulling me out of the group and singling me out and just destroying me. It was terrible. 40.
Jagger's a beast.
Yeah, he's so good at it. I mean, for
Jagger's
a while,
definitely.
that guy was just he was designing GVG teams almost for the meta. He would do something, and then almost everybody would start trying to copy the guy. It was pretty impressive for, I would say, at least a full beta.
Yeah, he did that in beta 2
Hmm.
also. Like he came. I remember we went to GVG Nilfgaard, and mm, I remember beta 2. The map was so big, and we went into the middle continent, and Nilfgaard went in the near Black Forest. I don't know if you played beta 2, but
Yeah, I've
they
been in
went in the
since
big
Alpha
in the
2.
big black zone. Gotcha. So uh, we traveled 40 zones to GVG them, and then I remember at one of the GVGs we got wrecked by Jagger's dual swords back when nobody was playing dual swords. So he definitely contributed to the meta in beta 2 also.
It's great seeing just, like you were saying before, how you guys go back to your tent and switch it up and come back with a different strategy. I was talking with Bogle last week. It's something that didn't quite make it into our show, but we were talking about how the way that we're going to be doing the learning points and the masteries, that it has been so great because now you can kind of switch it up really easy. And he wanted to ask if you guys think the top GVG teams will be picking one thing, staying with it, and if you have to switch, do you think that'll be a detriment to you? Say if it switches up in month 2.
Well, I know my answer. I want to hear what Norzor thinks, though.
I think it really depends on like who you're at war with. Like if you're at war with someone who's like gonna be attacking you over and over and over again, you probably do need to stay with one thing, get that to the highest tier that you can get it to. But like if you only have like a couple territories and like the people around you aren't really attacking you, I think that you can get a couple things up if you need to quickly switch it during a GVG.
About the meta is we're gonna see a lot more people going hard and changing their um or upping their alts to T8 or leveling up other classes on on the same character, because this beta you might not have seen it so much because of the fact that it's all gonna get reset. So a lot of people weren't even fame farming for that reason. So when it's the real thing, when release comes out and we're gonna see a lot more people trying to adapt to their enemies' tactics. So definitely people are gonna be trying different things and counters and different comps, even 1 month in, 2 months in, for sure.
Are you guys holding strategies back right now in preparation for release?
We have. Um, I'm not gonna mention exactly which build it is, but
No, I wouldn't ask for that. I'm just asking if you're holding anything. I'm not asking for your cards, man.
we might be holding on to uh, an OP build or two for sure.
Excellent. That's great because I want to see you guys change it up when release comes out, and I expect that we're gonna see some strange builds come out on release that might have like group builds that have strange new
Group
comps.
builds?
Yeah, like the GVG builds, like the 5-man comps, not the single
Gotcha,
builds. I think the single
gotcha,
builds are
gotcha,
gonna
gotcha.
stay pretty much where they are right now, and you might see just different people moving in and out of those builds. I think
Do you
people.
think the three melee um, meta is gonna change, or you think it's gonna stay a melee meta?
Well, I think I hope it changes. Honestly, I like it right now, but I think it's a little bit too splashy. Like people are going not splashy. It's like it's too targeted onto one guy right now, and I'd like to see more of an in and out where we're catching more catches, more counter plays. I see
Yeah.
it some at the higher level, but I think now with the element of having energy involved, we might see more of that because you might actually be able to see now and plan for pulling out a guy who's low on energy and making him do more because he won't have the energy to do his escapes or his defensive maneuvers. Especially when
Gotcha.
if we see I have a friend who's really into this arcane staff. I don't know if you know who it is, but he's been working
Substance,
it.
of course, of course.
Of course, but he wants to see somebody be using that in a GVG, and he's working hard to make it viable. So I
Well,
hope we see
substance,
something.
yeah, substance is the reason the arcane was so overpowered in beta 2.
No, it's just that he figured out how to make it overpowered and made it.
Right. No,
Oh
he's
man.
the reason, because I remember doing testing with substance, and I would read the comments, and then substance would always say, "This needs to be buffed on the
Oh
arcane,"
my
or
god.
"This needs to be buffed." And then it came to a point where um, arcane was super overpowered in beta 2 at the beginning,
Oh, it was
but
ridiculous.
I'm not complaining
100%
because
bonus. It
I
was
enjoyed, yeah,
amazing.
I
And the
enjoyed the arcane
crossbows.
in beta 2. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. So
It was great. You get the armor piercer on somebody, then you beam the double the crossbows, and boom, it's game. It was fun. You
oh
could
yeah, it was
really
strong. Yeah.
it was just it was end game. Nobody. I don't think I saw anybody in early beta stand up to that. It was pretty quick and over.
In beta 2
Yeah.
or in beta 1?
Beta 2, I believe that was because yeah.
So, beta 2,
Wasn't that when it had the 100% bonus to damage, or was that beta 1?
early beta 2 was the arcane meta for sure. And um, you might have seen a lot of weighted videos. Um, you can see examples of arcane abuse. We really abused the shit out of arcane in beta 2 um, with the pole hammer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've seen any clips of that.
No, actually, I haven't. You'd have to send me one. I'd be more than willing to look at them. And please, anybody out there who has great clips, we do have a section of place where we keep clips just to watch them and keep them stored so we know when to go back and look. But I had seen a lot of great arcane videos. We got in trouble for the arcane because we broke the undead with the arcane and the witch staff, the witcher staff, and the black
Oh, for
hole.
farming, for
Yeah,
farming the necro dungeons.
yeah, farming the necro dungeons.
Gotcha.
We were the ones who got in trouble with that. Substance is also the one who got us in trouble with the Earth Mother as well.
Damn. Oh, for two manning or three manning the
Yeah,
thing.
we could. Yeah, we if you did it right, you could basically do it in T3 and T4 gear. It was pretty easy.
Jesus.
And
Yeah.
we had it on farm on both continents, and we had it timed on both continents.
Oh, I heard about that. Vendetta was definitely exploiting the Earth Mother bug, or
Well,
not bug,
it,
but
no, we learned the mechanics of it almost too well, you could say. It's
yeah.
if you it's I we weren't exploiting bugs, we were using the mechanics very well, and we had just once you do something in PvE, you sort of get the hang of it, and you can really do it down to a science. And when you know how many people it takes to make the interrupts, how far you have to stand away to not get hit by everything, makes it pretty easy. But no, we weren't stealing silver like we were accused of. Jeez.
Who accused you of that?
Uh, we got accused of it on the forums a number of times for finding some silver bug exploit when what we were doing was just taking people out to, go do Earth Mother. You do 4 Earth Mothers in a day, and it'll bump you up on that silver chart pretty quick.
That's like 4 million silver.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Vendetta, is Vendetta coming back or they're not coming back?
Vendetta is coming back. SkyT is leading Vendetta again. I don't know what my association will be with Vendetta at this point, but they are coming back. Thank you for tuning in to part 1 of my 3-part interview with KingMojo and Norzor of Red Army. Please tune in next time for part 2. Until then, don't get ganked.